Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is a different kind of video, kind of personal. So if you don't like that stuff, then you might want to just move on to the next tutorial. So back, I think it was my 300,000 subscriber video, I basically came clean to my audience and told everyone that I was a drug addict or am a drug addict in recovery and was into hard drugs, into opiates for years, from when I was about 17 to 25 years old. I'm 40 now. And the reason that I wanted to tell people that in the first place was a few reasons. One is because I like to be kind of an open book. I like people to know me and where I come from and what I've experienced. And then I also tell it to give inspiration and show people that you can be in one really, really shitty point in your life. And that doesn't mean that you're going to stay there. You can get out of that and you can do things that you never thought you could do. So that's the main reason. And I was going through some stuff, some keepsakes, and I found this. I'm going to try to cover the number up, but this was my Massachusetts EBT card. So this is my food stamp card, and I was probably about 22 in that picture. And this is where I come from. You guys see all the nice stuff behind me. I've done office tours and all that, and it's pretty obvious that I do pretty well financially, but it definitely wasn't always like that. In fact, when I met my wife, we lived in a rooming house. So eventually we got a one-bedroom apartment, but before that, we lived in a place where we had one room and there was one bathroom on the floor, and we shared that bathroom with like 4 or 5 other dudes that lived on the floor at that time. So, and she was pregnant with my daughter at that time. So that's where we were at one point. And now we have a beautiful 5-bedroom house that we own. And I don't say that in like a bragging way, but just to show you the stark difference in between then and now. And it's not because I'm special or have any special qualities or anything like that. I'm not smarter than anyone else is. I'm not a better programmer than anyone else. I think that really what I can attribute the most to my success is just consistency. Is just brutal consistency, keeping my eye on the ball for what I wanted, and just never taking it off, and doing what I needed to get there. And I think that just about anybody can do that. And your goal might be different. Mine was to have my own business that made a lot of money. I could keep my family safe and secure. So that was my goal, but you might want to work at a FANG company or create a startup or create some kind of SaaS, whatever it is that you want to do. And I was looking through some other stuff as well. I found this, which I thought you guys could kind of get a kick out of, which was my booking photo when I went to jail for a year in 2002. And I also have my record here. So this is a 5-page criminal record. You can see some of the charges: possession of Class A substance, which is like heroin, opiates; Class D, Class A, breaking and entering in the daytime. So it's all either drug charges or stealing to get drugs, which, obviously wasn't a good thing. And I can remember the first time I went to jail, I was in the courtroom and I was trying to do whatever I could for the judge to give me a lesser sentence or get out of it or whatever. And I had my lawyer, which was just a public defender at the time. He had told the judge, or I had told him to tell the judge, that I planned on going to the local community college here for computer science, because I was always interested in tech. Even when I was younger, getting into trouble, I still enjoyed technology, so that's something I did want to do. But he told the judge that, and the judge just looked at me right in the eye and just laughed. And he said, in a very sarcastic voice, he said that the computer industry is going to have to wait for Mr. Traversy, and basically said, a year in jail or whatever it was that he said. So I think that was the right decision at that time, and the other times as well. I was just, I probably would have died, and I was just a shit person, stealing from people and all that. And of course, I regret that stuff, but I don't regret the overall experience because I think that it helped bring me to where I am today. So, and the reason I say that is for you guys, look at your struggles, whether that's money. So, whether you're, in poverty, or whether it's mental health, if you have bad anxiety, ADHD, depression, whatever, any of that stuff, relationship issues, social anxiety, something else that I've dealt with my whole life. Try to look at those things as things that help you rather than hold you back. I think that we live in a world where everyone wants to be some kind of victim, and I don't think that that's a healthy way to be. I think that you should take those things and you try to turn them around and use them as your strength, if that makes sense. And I know some people might even get offended by that, but that's just the way that I think, and that's my advice to people. And try to use my situation where I was at point A and where I am now at point B and apply it to yourself. Because again, there's nothing special about me. I can just attribute it mostly to just brutal consistency. Whether it was when I started freelancing and trying to get clients, or when I started my YouTube channel, I was just consistent. You don't want to just stop. You want to keep your eye on the ball and just keep going. And you can imagine with the record that I just showed you, trying to get a job with that, especially like in the tech industry. I couldn't even get hired at Wendy's, never mind at a tech job. So I had to just do something else. I had to go around the system and create my own business and start freelancing. And that didn't start off very well either. In fact, I have a video talking about my first gig, which was a disaster. But again, I stayed consistent and just kept going after that. And jobs were getting better and easier. I was learning things along the way. So you're going to go through rough times. You're going to have a tough time getting started, but don't let that just make you quit. You just want to keep your eye on where you want to be and just work towards that goal. And I know there's a lot of like cringy, self-help, positive thinking kind of thing, like the book The Secret or the movie The Secret, where you think positive and things will just happen, and that's not how it works. But if you do think in a positive way, that causes you to do positive actions that can then lead to where you want to be. So you want to try to have some kind of knowing that you will get to where you want to be someday. And try not to fall victim to whatever your circumstance is. And I know people have it tough. My story isn't the toughest. I know that. I know there's people, especially that don't live in the U.S., that are in other countries going through situations. Believe me, I know that it's bad. I talk to people from all over the world, and you just don't let it tear you down inside. You still want to keep pushing and keep trying as much as you possibly can. So that's it, guys. I wanted to share more of my story because there's a lot of new people. I haven't really talked about this in years, and I just want to let the new people know, let you know where I'm coming from, and to try to use my story as some kind of inspiration and relate it to your own in whatever issues you're going through. I also want to give a shout out to Underdog Devs on Twitter. And I talked to Rick, he created this group, which basically they help people that are incarcerated or have been through the system and help them get into coding, which I think is a friggin' great idea. And I just wanted to give them a shout out. That's Underdog Devs on Twitter. And they're not sponsoring me or anything like that. It's just I thought this is an appropriate place to mention them. And, anytime I can help anybody out that's in that kind of situation, I want to. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.